Hey you, do you like Pokemon? A bunch of cool streamers? And also seeing said Pokemon potentially die as you race through Kanto? If so, that's a little dark of you. But that's exactly what me and a bunch of cool streamers are doing this Saturday on May 24th at 8 p.m. EST. So come on by and hang out with us as we do our first Pokemon Randomizer Soul Link run through Kanto. Also, as a part of this announcement, here's the rules of the game. Hey guys, welcome in. So today we're just going to do a quick video on everything you're going to need to know for the Pokemon Race Through Kanto, with fancy transitions, if I do so say myself. So, for the Race Through Kanto Soul Link, we're going to touch on a couple things today, starting with the Soul Link rules, so how to play the game if you haven't ever played a Soul Link. We're going to touch on that. But first things first, we're going to touch on the Soul Link rules. So first things first, the teams will be made at random with your partner's Pokemon being linked with yours. So everyone knows with the Nuzlocke, if your Pokemon faint, it dies. However, with the Soul Link, if your Pokemon's souls are interlinked. So the teams for this race will be made at random on a wheel. We're going to spin the wheel and you're going to be partnered up with another streamer friend. And as we said, those teams will be random with the partners obviously being linked with yours. You may catch up to one Pokemon per route and that Pokemon are linked. So if I catch someone on Route 1 and your partner also gets a Route 1, those Pokemon are linked, same with your starter Pokemon and so on. If one Pokemon in a linked pair faints, both are considered dead and must be box released. In the box, you just put it into like a death box if you have that, or you can just release it, up to you. But if a Pokemon faints, if my starter dies, or if my Route 3 Pokemon dies, so does the partners. If either player fails to catch their encounter, both lose their pair. So if you're on Route 7 and there is a Pokemon that's super difficult or it runs away, you unfortunately, as well as your partner, lose an encounter. You cannot re-catch a Pokemon for that route. That route is basically dead, and you're going to have to wait and not have a Pokemon for that. We also have, in the case of a run sweep, so that all your Pokemon faint, you have 3 runs or 3 lives. If you die in all 3, you and your partners are out of the race. So for this, as you can see in your folders, you have your names. It says your name 1, 2, 3. So run sweeps, especially at the start of the game, may happen. And for this being a race, if you do have a run sweep, you're being able to reset the game and start from your bedroom again. So you have 3 lives in this case. So if you run through all 3, if you run sweep all 3, you are officially out of the race. But yeah, if you have a team sweep, you run out of Pokemon to use, that's what you'll do. Next, you nickname all your Pokemon with each encounter sharing a name. So, for your starter Pokemon, obviously you're going to give it a nickname. But the name for my starter Pokemon has to be the same as your partner. So you might want to combine the names, doing like Bulbasaur, Charmander, doing a combination of that. Or if you just like the name Ricky, both your starters are going to be named Ricky. You're also going to play together at the same pace. This is a shared race. So that's take on gyms and major battles at the same time. So if you're going into a gym, you're going to go at the same time. You're going to wait for your partner. You can't start without your partner. Rare candies are in use, but only to the level cap of each area upcoming gym. So what that means basically is that for your starter Pokemon, you can level it up, but you can only do it to Brock's level cap. So you can't level up your Pokemon to a higher of the level cap. If you do, that Pokemon is unusable until you reach the next level cap. So until you beat that gym leader that's next, you cannot go above that level cap. We're going to touch on each of the level caps in the next few slides. We also have the duplication clause, which is catching the same Pokemon or the Evo line. So if I have a Charmander, obviously I don't maybe want 2 Charmanders on my team. If you find an encounter for your catching encounter, which is always the first Pokemon you run into in the tall grass of that route, you can re-catch it. You can find a new Pokemon. So you can catch a new encounter if it has any of the same Pokemon line that you already have. You can also have a shiny clause, which means if you find a shiny Pokemon in the wild, you can add that to your team for an additional Pokemon. But that is only for the person who catches it. Your partner cannot find a random Pokemon. That is an unlinked Pokemon for you. Next, we have our Soul Link rules for the gym leader cap. So as we touched on before, there are the gym leaders and your Pokemon can only be leveled up to the level cap of the upcoming gym. So for Brock, that's level 14, Misty 21, Lieutenant Surge is 24, Erica is level 29, Koga is 43, Sabrina is 43, Blaine is 47, and Giovanni is 50. So that means if you're going and you're doing Koga, you really can't be pushing the limits of your Pokemon. You can't be evolving it past that because if you go to Sabrina, you won't have any Pokemon. So just keep that in mind. Same with the Elite Four. Our first Elite Four member is level 54, 56 for Bruno, Agatha is 58, Lance is 60, and finally for the champion, it's 63. You can't go past those. So if you're in the Elite Four, you can do the first Elite Four encounter, get your Pokemon level 54, level them up before the next encounter, so on and so forth. But you can't go past that. So now we are ready to rock and roll and play our Soul Link. I hope this helps, guys, and I look forward to playing with you guys on Saturday. See you guys soon.